He has files on everybody.
My phone auto saves every picture I take to my Google Photos, and it sorts them by face. And so
face?
Yes. If you go to Google Photos and you hit albums, all the pictures that have like the same person in them. So if I take 500 pictures my freshman year, all the ones with Brady will go to a specific file. And so I opened up like my photos with Brady, and I had photos going back to 8th grade. And so I think I'm a creeper now because I have them all sorted.
Okay, so on number 17, we're supposed to factor using the tricks that we learned yesterday. So if something is a root or a 0, that means if you set that function equal to 0, that's the solution for x, right? So x cubed minus 5x squared. 5x squared plus 2x. So we're looking for what x can be. Do you guys remember how many roots I said yesterday this could have? Should have. I mentioned it once. 3, yeah. The highest power is called the degree of the polynomial. That's how many answers it should have. Now, okay, I'm gonna make let's say this factors to like x minus. This is not the answer, by the way. If it factored to that, what would the answers be? Yeah, you guys remember that? So if we can figure out the answers, then we can kind of work backwards and factor it. Okay? If we can figure out what the answers are, then we can just set this up really easy. Factor. Okay, so how do we find the answers? Well, yesterday we talked about something called the rational root theorem. You'll remember it here in a second, which states that if there are rational roots, rational answers to this equation, then they're going to be factors of 8 over factors of 1. You guys remember that? What are the factors of 8?
1, 2, 4, and 8.
And factors of 1 over 1. So the possible factors are 1 over 1, 2 over 1, 4 over 1, 8 over 1, which is 1, 2, 4, and 8. But also, they could all be positive or negative. So, really the hard part is figuring out the first answer, because once you figure out the first answer, there's kind of a trick to find out the other answers. So, usually 1's the easiest to plug in, so let's plug in 1 and see if it works. If I plug in 1, I get 1 minus 5, negative 4, plus 2, negative 2, plus 8, 6. Nope, doesn't work.
Cross that one.
Oh, we can do negative 1.
Yeah, I'm going to try negative 1. If I plug in negative 1. Before I forget this, here's another trick. Sometimes it's possible that, I don't think it's going to happen to us. Something called a double root, which means like one answer works twice. I don't think they did that to us though. Negative 1 cubed is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is positive 1 times minus 5 is minus 5. Minus 2 plus 8. Uh-oh. Negative 1 minus 5 minus 2 is negative 8 plus 8, 0. So negative 1 is a solution. So we got 1 out of 3.
Wait, so we're not done yet?
No.
Oh, no.
Okay.
You have to plug in all of these negative 2.
No. It's possible that the rest of them wouldn't work. There's no guarantee that the last 2 answers are going to be rationals. But there's kind of a fast forward way. So I probably shouldn't have erased it, but you remember up here before I said, so let me put it this way. If minus 1 is an answer, then x plus 1 is a factor. So if we divide this by x plus 1, we'll be left with a quadratic equation that contains the last 2 factors, and we can solve quadratic equation with quadratic formula. So once you,
It's a complex problem.
Sorry, what?
I warned you guys last week. So if -1 is an answer, that means x plus 1 must be a factor. Remember those made up factors I put up here earlier? Like whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I divide this factor out from this synthetic division, then I'll be left with a quadratic that contains my last two factors.
So we can, our thing would be -1, and then do some.
Thing in the box is -1. Yeah. Alright, so I need these coefficients. 1, -5, 2, and 8. And -1 goes in the box. Okay, if we do this right, because I know this should be a factor, there should be no remainder. The remainder should be 0 over here, if I do it right. So, add down, multiply up, add down, multiply up, add down, multiply up, add down.
Please tell me this is the answer.
No,
Okay, do you guys remember what this represented right here?
but it's x to the
1x squared minus 6x plus 8. So if you get confused, this is always the constant x term, x squared, x cubed, and it would keep going like that. This is the remainder over here. So inside this polynomial contains my last two factors, my last two answers. So we could use quadratic formula, but it looks to me like this one would factor pretty easy. And that would be, right, what goes into 8, that adds up to -6. -4 minus 2. So therefore, what could x be?
4 and 2.
4 and 2. So my answers are -1 from before. Where am I going to put this? -1, 4, and 2. You could of course check that by plugging in original problem.
Drew, was it you who said this is gonna be alright? Or were
Yes.
you the one that was like, yeah, this will be fine?
I mean, we technically only have what?
Yeah, it only took us 15 minutes to do that.
Alright, you guys got it? Here we go.
No.
You're just not gonna do any more with us.
Yeah, good luck.
No.
Okay, what are the possible factors for number 19? Oh, there are double roots on this. I lied from before.
Oh,
How dare you?
Actually, a triple root on this one.
What?
Shouldn't have said that, but what are possible answers for this one?
I forgot how to get started.
Factors of 27 over factors of 1.
9 and 3.
1 times 1 and 27, 3 and 9, right? Factors of 1. So it's 1 over 1, 3 over 1, 9 over 1, 27 over 1, so. Let's hope it's not 27. So we'll start with 1 because that's always easy to plug in. I'm looking at my book because I didn't write it down. So 1 plus 9 plus 27 plus 27 is not 0. It's a big number. If I plug in -1, I get -1 plus 9 is 8 minus 27, -19 plus 27, not 0. Okay, so these two are out. If I plug in 3, 27 plus 81 plus 81 plus 27. That's not going to be 0. They're all pluses. If I plug in -3, it'd be -27 plus 81 minus 81 plus 27. So anyway, the -27 plus 27, the 81 minus 81 cancel out. So -3 worked. Anyway, So I just kept plugging in until I got something that made it equal to 0. So negative 3 works. Now what do I do? Put negative 3 in the box. Put the coefficients 1, 9, 27, 27. Add down, multiply up. Add down, multiply up. Whoops. Add down, multiply up. Yeah. So x squared plus 6x plus 9. I want that to equal 0. What multiplies into 9 that adds up to 6? Plus 3 plus 3. So what would x be? Negative 3, negative 3. Now really, negative 3 can only be an answer once. You don't write it 3 times. But in this case, it would be called a triple root. And that does something to the graph. But we're not graphing it, so just put x equals negative 3.
But we will eventually, right?
Sure, sure. No crying in math class.
That's where people go to cry. This is awful.
This is lovely.
I was
Alright.
doing so good yesterday. I was so happy.
Yeah, I liked yesterday's.
Can we do that again?
Yesterday's was nice.
Remember the good old days?
Good old days.
We're talking about yesterday.
Okay, on 21, what are the possible roots for 21?
20 and 1. 1 and 20.
Okay,
Wow, that's a lot.
what else?
2, 10.
5 and 4.
Kind of a lot. Better than 24. 1 and 20, 2 and 10.
Over 20 and 72. Big one.
Yeah, but it's probably going to be the smaller numbers. Yeah. And remember, you really only have to find one of them. I'm not going to write all that down. Okay. What do you guys want to start with?
1.
1. Okay, here we go.
It's not gonna work, but might as well.
Could. You never know.
Actually, wait a minute.
It's probably gonna work.
Yeah, that's probably gonna work.
You just jinxed yourself. So it's 1 minus 21 plus 20.
It's 22. Let's try negative 1.
What's 1 minus 21?
Negative 20.
Negative 20 plus 20.
0.
0. 1 works.
It works. Woohoo, I did it! Guys, I did it!
You said 22, Jack.
No, I didn't. I said 1.
Alright. Here's the tricky part. What are the coefficients? I said tricky.
1,
No, does it have 0 in it?
1. Oh, it's 1, 0, 0, negative.
No, that's too many.
There's only one.
Isn't it
more.
1 0 negative 21?
Oh.
Okay, it's missing the x squared term, so let's not make that mistake again. Alright. Add down 1, multiply up, add down, multiply up, add down, multiply up, add down. Again, if you don't get 0 over there, something's wrong. Because there should be no remainder on. We know 1's an answer, we know x minus 1's a factor, therefore. Anyway, okay.
I think we're gonna go to factor this one. I don't know. Just let's see. It's plausible.
Jackson, if you say it,
You
it's
got
going to be the
triple-
opposite. What goes into negative 20 that adds up to 1?
4 and plus.
See, guys, I just did it.
How's
I
it
jinxed
add?
it twice in a row, so it doubled itself out.
You did
So-
that.
He purposely did that.
Yeah, because that worked
How
out
does,
one thing.
how does it add up to 1?
Negative 4 plus 5.
Negative 4 plus 5. So x is 4, negative 5, and 1 from earlier.
Look at that. Let's go.
Thanks,
I'm
Jackson.
feeling slightly better.
So,
It's the plugging in that's
yeah, the last two answers don't necessarily have to be rational answers. They could be the square root, plus or minus square root stuff, or they could be imaginary. But on this one, they're all going to factor, so they will all be normal. So you could just keep plugging stuff in, but that will take longer. 23. See, this is going a little bit faster, right? What are the possible answers on 23? 60 over 1, right? So, lots of stuff goes into 60. My word. 1 and 60.
2 and 30.
3 and 20.
Didn't make myself enough room. 4 and 15. 5 and 12. 6 and 10. Okay, that's all. That's my theory why we chose 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes an hour, because it's very
So divisible.
the most divisible number. 12 is up there, 60 is up there. Okay. So yeah, they're not gonna be too mean. They're not gonna like make it be 30 or 60. So we'll probably start with the low numbers first.
20.
1.
No, it's not 20 either. Start with 1. Jackson didn't say it, so it's probably wrong. Wait, no, Jackson has to say it can't be 1. That's how
It
it
can't
works.
be 1, guys.
Too late.
It's not possible.
Okay,
I just did the
1.
math, it's not gonna work.
So when you plug in 1, it doesn't really do anything. It just kind of keeps the coefficients the same. So it's 1 minus 4 minus 13. It's like negative 16 plus 28 is 12 plus 60, 72. No.
Yes, the actual just was 1.
If you plug in negative 1, you get positive 1 plus 4 is 5 plus minus 13 is negative 8 minus 28 is negative something plus 60 is not 0. Doesn't work.
Yeah, I told you.
Alright. I guess 2. 2 to the 4th. 2, 4, 8, 16. Minus 32 is negative 16. This is getting hard for me. Minus 52 is, oh no, negative 36 plus 56 is 20 plus 60 is 0. Is not 0. Sorry. Negative 2. Negative 2 to the 4th. Just thought about maybe teaching you guys a trick on the calculator to help with this, but maybe later on. It works on the TI-84s. I don't know about those little cats yet. So maybe not smart enough. I don't know. I'll have to look at it.
Dude, Cassie's pretty smart.
Yeah. Anyways, negative 2 to the 4th is positive 16. Negative 8 times negative 4 is plus 32. So what do we have to do? 48. 4 times 13 is 52. Minus 52 is negative 4. Minus 56 is negative 60. Plus 60 is 0. Okay, it worked.
Woo, we did it!
I got it. Alright, negative 2.
We did it. I don't think we did it.
It's because we just can't keep up.
Well, yeah.
I think the amount of time it takes Mr. Jordan to do that, you multiply that by like 5. And
Yeah.
That's how long it's going to take me to figure this out.
Yeah.
So if you plug in negative 2, we got coefficient. What are our coefficients? Nothing is skipped here. So we got 1, negative 4, negative 13. 28 and 60. Add down. Multiply. This last one's kind of hard. Add down. Oh, how many answers should this have, by the way?
A bajillion.
4, right? And we can't use the factoring trick until we get it down to 2. So we're going to have to do this twice. Also.
Oh my gosh. Why can you mark this one out?
Times negative 2 is 12. Negative 1 times negative 2 is 2 is 30. Negative 60. 0.
Now we need to do it again.
So you see the difference on this answer? It's got an extra term there. So this is the constant, the x term, x squared, x cubed. It's 1x cubed minus 6x squared minus x plus 30. So yeah, we can't factor that, right?
Yes, let's just multiply the thing again. Divide it again. Can we do
And
that?
they can.
Actually, there is kind of a way to factor, but it's called grouping, and we did it like twice, so I don't, we didn't even do that kind. So, yeah, never mind.
Just dividing.
So we plugged in 2 and -2, so we're writing for 3.
Wait, where did we get 3 from?
Well, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Right there. I'm still going, like I did plus and minus 2, or plus and minus 1, plus and minus 2. Now I'm ready to see if 3 works. And I happen to know because I looked at the book, but that was the next one on the list also, so I would have came to it anyway.
Deceptions.
So
I see.
we can't, since we don't know how to factor this, we got to keep going and plug in 3. So if I plug in 3, by the way, it should work in here, it should work in the original. This one's smaller though, so I'm going to use this one. 27 minus 54, -27, minus 3 is -30, plus 30. Okay, 3 works. So I need to factor out the x minus 3, so I'm just gonna, well, this is kind of screwed up. But basically I'm using that right there. Let's just do that, shall we? We'll just go right there from the last thing.
Wait, we're using the 1, -6, -1, or?
Yeah, the remainder from our last.
Uh,
So if we divide out the 2 factors, we should be left with an x squared, which we can factor, right? So add down, multiply up, add down, multiply up, add down, multiply up, add down. So we got x squared minus 3x minus 10. Now that we can factor.
No, it's not possible to factor.
What goes into -10 that adds up to -3?
5 and 2. It's got to be x minus 5, x plus 2.
Minus 5 plus 2. So x equals, wait, didn't I try 2 earlier? I must have screwed up.
No, it
Or
was negative.
negative 2. Yeah, I screwed up with -2. Look at that. Alright, so x equals 5. I didn't see it, so I just kind of figured it wasn't right, I think. X equals 5, x equals -2. X equals 3 from earlier, and what was the other one? Negative?
Negative 2.
Oh, I already had that one. That was a double root. Oh, we never wrote the answer.
Who could that possibly be?
Amy Kimmer needs to go get out for an appointment, his mom is calling.
Alright.
All right, thank you.
Bye, Amy. Are you getting me back?
Probably.
Well, it was nice knowing you.
I think,
Don't ask me to explain this tomorrow.
I'm not
I
that
won't be
nice.
able to do it.
I just realized I forgot to write the factors.
What do you mean?
Like we were supposed to, like in the first one, I think I wrote it there. And -2 is a double root, so, like, did I do it right in the first one?
What, the plus and minuses?
Oh, I didn't. Well, okay, they wanted us to write the answer like this, the factored form, instead of
No.
just this, but that's okay.
thank you.
This is enough.
We don't gotta do it anyway. We're good. We're cool.
Any 4 problems takes up a whole page.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did do that right, -2, it just happened to be a double root. Alright,
It was nice knowing you guys.
try 18.
Emphasis on the word try.
There's no try, there's only do, is that?
It's do or do not. There is no try. I expect better.
Or worse, depending on your perspective.
Yeah. I'm tearing this out and I'm doing it on another page so I have
Oh,
notes.
number 24 doesn't have a 1.
Yeah,
That's great.
look at that.
That's poop.
What is it?
Oh, young lady.
Oh yeah, instead of like the S, you just get 8 on there. Mr. Jordan.
Hmm?
On the like 22 and 24, you just get 8 and 9 instead of 1.
factors of 1 over factors of 8 on 22. So factors of 1 are just 1, but factors of 8 are 1, 2, 4, and 8. So it could be 1 over 1, which is just 1. Could be 1 over 2. Could be 1 over 4. Could be 1 over 8. So I would definitely start with 1. Probably gets harder as you go, but you can use your calculator.
That didn't work.
Huh?
One didn't work.
The
The one hurt.
One does work?
Yes, you do.
It does? It's not working for me. What am I doing wrong?
Whenever like this is at the end, is it something?
Well, they all can be positive or negative, so it doesn't matter.
Why is that? No, it's just not working. No, it's not, Bree. It's not working for me. I don't know why.
I messed up because I was multiplying down.
It doesn't work. -1 doesn't work on 18. No, it doesn't. I've plugged it in 4 different times.
Yeah, 1 works.
How?
It's just 1 minus 6 plus 11 minus
6.
1 minus 6
Yeah.
equals -5.
plus 11.
Why does it only work whenever I'm being proven wrong?
Because it works.
That's my power, is I have the power to jinx things, but only against myself.
Do you know how to work this calculator?
Totally forgot what I was supposed to
In
do.
which way?
Oh,
So,
72?
after I'm done with this
That's okay.
exponent.
What am I supposed to do?
And like do my thing.
Hurry up.
Oh yeah, can I go down? Okay, thank you.
Oh,
I'm just gonna try 1. Okay, but 1 didn't work.
Did you grab a unique calculator? Did somebody take the Casio?
here you have it.
No, this one's mine.
Does 18 factor?
I don't have it.
Oh, here it is.
Does 18 factor? Because it's factorable numbers, but the symbols don't match up.
What goes into 6 that adds up to 5?
2 and 3. I'm messing with the wrong numbers.
Yeah, 6 and 1.
I
6 and
get
1
it.
of course is negative.
Oh,
Wait,
No,
did you get an 18? Wait, I got it. 118.
no, -2,
yeah, that's right.
-3.
yes.
That's
What'd you get?
backwards?
Yes.
No.
Well,
Subtract everything up to negative 3.
that's another one's a fraction.
Is it 1 3?
And that's all.
Jeez, this is annoying, Mr.
Yeah. Are you already on the last one?
No, I'm.
Working backwards?
Yeah. I like to do that because
24 is definitely the hardest.
I'm. Yeah.
I'll tell you guys on 22 though, it has a fraction as well.